victory.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
Welcome to the show that's cool and fly too. A1 Forever Sports, A1 Family, Chris Tip Moore, back at you once again. Why settle for less when you can have more with the vision? It's time to be generational. Something that the Falcons were today as they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Want to get into some analysis / recap of today's final preseason game. Let's do it. Now, the Atlanta Falcons took on the Jacksonville Jaguars at Mercedes Benz Stadium. Atlanta was able to bounce back from last week's defeat by defeating the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-12 to go 2-1 in the preseason. Now, Atlanta won the total yards battle because as they was pretty balanced on rushing and passing. It was a great thing to see from the Falcons to have that balance and to keep, Jacksonville honest. Also, the Falcons got 2 sacks. Yes, it happened. Sacks. 2 of them. Plural. Multiple. Take it for what it is. Still preseason, but I was definitely happy to see, some of the Falcons get after it. And really, they've been giving pressure, but I'm happy to see it. I mean, improvement. Improvement is what it's all about. And like I said, I feel like the Falcons really have been giving pressure to the quarterbacks, all preseason long. It's just today they really got home, got a couple sacks, got some good pressure, was able to cause some turnovers. And it was really getting after it, man. I was really happy to see this. I want to see the same Falcon squad all year. I may have to tell them guys, hey, man, play like you possibly may be cut tomorrow. I don't know. It's just the energy was great. Very great. And I'm excited to see them week 1, truthfully. The stat of the night for me, honestly, has to be the Falcons going 7 for 14 on third down while holding Jacksonville to just 2 of 12 on third down. So what does that mean, A1 family? The defense was getting off the field. Guys were hungry to step up and perform generational to make it tough for the Falcons front office come Tuesday at 4 p.m. All right, so the Falcons rolled out the ones that needed a last look, last look over, last shot guys, and by doing that, they ran the second and third string teams out there. I think some fourth string guys actually got out there too, of course. Just, seeing all your options, weighing them. And those guys were the ones who got the exclusive reps. So, guys like A.J. Terrell, Grady Jarrett, Marcus Mariota, etc. Like the first teamers. Those guys, got some rest and set back as the guys went out there and competed. And you could see the competitive nature of the Falcons in this game. Complete turnaround from last week, quarter to quarter. Complete turnaround in the second half by the second and third year guys. The energy was great. They kept getting after it. They didn't take their foot off the gas. These two teams practiced against one another all week this past week. And, the game, the Birds hit the Jaguars with punch after punch until victory formation. Atlanta displayed the foot on the throat, foot on the gas, mentality, and the running back room really made some noise in this game. I feel like, they were very productive. All 3 guys, Caleb Huntley, Quadre Allison, Tyler Algiers, all competing for a spot behind CP84 and Damian Williams, apparently. So, all 3 backs scored a rushing touchdown at some point throughout the game. But it was Algiers, though. Tyler Algiers, the guy that some guys are not high on. But he was showing versatility by powering up the middle, getting his rushing touchdown, something that the Falcons definitely wanted to see out of him and make sure he had that skill set. But he also caught a touchdown coming out the backfield from quarterback Desmond Ritter. Now, Caleb Huntley, he had a game worth shouting out, simply because he brought elusiveness and physicality when he was given the ball, pounding the Jaguars. I'm talking about pounding them over and over in the third and fourth quarters mostly. And again, just going to make it tough for them guys on Tuesday to cut this young man, straight out of College Park. And, just another Georgia kid who's trying to make the team. So, but he had probably his best showing today, definitely from any reports that I've read, any videos I've seen. It definitely was Caleb Huntley, sticking his foot in the ground, making guys miss, and just like running guys over as well, getting yards and getting his score. So, great job by Caleb going out there, getting after it, way to compete. But speaking on Desmond Ritter, he ran the show for most of the day. He went 14 for 21 for 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But one of them was just an underthrown ball at the end of the half, going into halftime. And let's talk about him being able to have the ability to regain his composure after a mistake. Ritter, he threw his first interception like in the first quarter, not like a few minutes in, pretty much. But he shook it off. And he was able to come back the next drive and deliver a touchdown. That's competitive spirit and maturity. Things happen. So just go out there and do your thing. Believe in your abilities. That got you to this point. Once he was aligned, and only once he was aligned, you seen him start to make play after play. Ritter finished the preseason 34 of 56 with 431 yards. I'm trying to give him too much. 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not too bad, in 3 games. For that to happen in 3 games, not bad. It wasn't too many bad and ugly things from this game, man. I enjoyed watching it. It was a very great game, especially on the Bird side of the ball. But I do disdain the 10 penalties for 86 yards. That's almost the length of a football field. And Coach Smith was hot about it, as he should be. You know what I'm saying? It's preseason, yes, but we're practicing now to get to perfection, because come week 1, hey, all those penalties going to add up. All those penalties are real. And you may not see second and third string guys, especially come week 1. They're giving you all their first strings. Talking about that team down in New Orleans. You know the one I'm talking about. I ain't got to say the name. But, you just can't have that. And a few of those penalties came against offensive lineman Jonathan Harrison, who's fighting for a spot on this team. And getting penalties to set the offense back in critical situational football is not the way to do it. Also, a couple of injuries happened. One to a guy that I feel like was having a great training camp, linebacker Dorian Etheridge. He left the game on a cart with a knee injury, and also tight end Anthony Ferkster, who left the game on his own power, but with a slight little tweak of the ankle. Hopefully both of those guys are okay. I know Coach Smith loves his tight ends, so to have Pitts and Ferkster definitely is an ideal thing for him and the team. I know we have Felipe waiting in the wings, but we got to see what's going to happen with him too. Special teams. Boy, I enjoyed that special teams play. That special teams block. Enjoyed it. Came up big time. Quentin Bell, who's also trying to make this team, definitely made a case for himself by doing that, if I do say so myself, and I do. With the punt block, and then D'Angelo Malone being able to recover that guy and give the Falcons great field position for the score. Absolutely loved it. Atlanta was consistently stout, as far as against the run, only allowing 54 yards of rushing attack from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the effort, so it was led by my man Albert Avocati and Derek Tangelo, looking for somebody next to Grady. We have Anthony Rush, yes. Tyquan Graham. I know Ojanobi. I probably said that wrong too. I'm gonna get that right too, by the way. But now you also have Derek Tangelo, who's trying to make this team, and he was great today. Active, appreciate the effort, most definitely. The Falcons, they have some decisions to make. As like I said, this was the last preseason game right before cuts coming on Tuesday. I keep mentioning that because it is looming. It's right around the corner. And I can only imagine what guys are going through. Can you just imagine what these players are thinking right now, saying, did I do enough? Am I good enough? Will my career still continue if I wasn't good enough for this particular team? And we'll see where it goes from there. As for 27 guys, this was pretty much their last preseason game for the Atlanta Falcons. And some tough decisions will be made on who will be kept and who will be cut and who even will be signed to the practice squad, which I believe will be able to keep a few guys for that practice squad and still be able to add what's needed for the team to be most successful this season. I trust Coach Smith and Terry Fontenot and, everybody. I expect them to come together and make the right decisions in the goodwill of the team. It's going to be a very tough decision and a tough way to decide this week. So many good players, so many guys, Nate Landon and all this stuff. Like it's a lot of guys out there, man, that, made their mark here and there, making plays, coming from different parts of sports, coming from playing different sports. It's a lot of guys, man. I enjoyed watching this preseason and also covering this preseason, watching some of these guys grow, watching some of these guys coming from the bottom, and work their way to the top. So it's just a wonderful thing. The Falcons have a wonderful situation on their hands with just having guys who are eager to play, which leads me into 3 players I believe the Falcons should keep on the 53-man roster. So let's start with, wide receiver Jared Bernhardt. Bernhardt is a former lacrosse player who was making waves on the Falcons, turning heads and making it difficult to cut the man. Bernhardt has 4 catches, 88 yards in the preseason. I don't believe he was able to get into the wide receiver role today. I think he was more so just special teams, which is, somewhere that he may start and possibly fill out later on. But Bernhardt has done a lot to stay on this team, and I believe he should be kept and not, even put on the practice squad. I believe he's done enough to get onto the main roster. But of course, I don't make that decision. You don't make that decision. We don't make that decision. So we'll see how it goes from there. But it's definitely a player I feel like the Falcons should definitely keep on this roster. Don't let him go somewhere else and mess around and hurt you later on. You have him now. Use him, because I feel like he'll be a good player for the Falcons. Cornerback D Alford. Now there shouldn't be any reason why Alford should be cut. Zero reasoning, period. Like, you wouldn't be able to explain it to me. He's been making plays. He started from the bottom. And, so you're taking first team snaps at nickel corner. Unless something very strange happens, I expect Alford to make the Falcons 53-man roster. I mean, Alford didn't even play in the final preseason game, or at least I didn't see him. If somebody's seen Alford on the field today, please in the comments let me know. But I thought a month ago that Alford would make the team, and it looks like he's going, not only just make the team, but make the team as a first team starter. And it looks like he would cash in on that claim, and I'm happy to see it. Lastly, guys, I mentioned him earlier with the injury, but linebacker Dorian Etheridge was putting together a good preseason again before being injured with a knee. I was thinking maybe he could be a situational linebacker and on special teams as well to start. And I'm hopeful that his knee injury is not serious. I haven't seen or heard anything about it as of yet, but something could possibly come as soon as I drop this. So Etheridge was also a standout, like I said, in the second preseason run with the Atlanta Falcons. hopefully he can remain on the team, as a practice squad player at least, man. I feel like they should definitely keep him around as well. And it's a few more players. I could have named different players. I really could name a total of 3 different players, but that was just my opinion that I just wanted to give to you guys, share with you guys, and continue to build with you guys. But that's all my coverage for Atlanta Falcons training camp. I know this next coming week is going to be closed off to all media, pretty much, and all fans and everything like that, as they get down to the nitty gritty, getting ready for the opening season, week 1, New Orleans Saints. And I enjoyed doing this. I really enjoyed giving you guys, coverage for the Atlanta Falcons and training camp. Thank you guys for everyone who subscribed, who watched, liked, shared, everything. I really appreciate it. I promise you, it's never in vain. I always have you guys right here. But until next time, be generational, because there's always time to be. Why settle for less when you can have more with the vision? A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cooler and fly too. Chris Tipmore right here. Be kings and queens, because you already are. Just unlock yourself. All right, now, until next time, I'll holler y'all.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer too.